Dearly beloved, we'll gather here today to get this. Oh, look at the hammer. Oh, my God. I got to do this correctly. Hold on. So, Shot of Whiskey has something to say about Hammerhand and some other MGTOW gentlemen. And, you know, I think it's only fair that we should be open to criticism. You know, hey, you're fucking up. You know, what are you doing? Et cetera, and so on. I mean, it's only fair, you know, if you're having a debate, you're talking about the issues. You know, hey, you know, I think this is the thing. Okay, all right, let's talk about it. Of course, whiskey doesn't mention what? Whiskey doesn't mention God Almighty. Praise Lord Jesus. Doesn't mention the hamster in his list of, people who need to be criticized. So, you know, I'm just saying, maybe it's just, hello, Sharzanabel, Rivan, Stone Reapers here. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. All right, let's go. Let's go to the video. I will try to read your comments. No, I'm not Polska'd out. I've only had like 2 cans of beer. Getting old's a bitch. You can't you can't deal with yourself anymore.
For this video, though, I wanted to focus on some MGTOW specific talking points. Yeah. More so one in particular because this one, as far as I can tell, is the primary
But what about the hamster? Oh my God!
Motivation behind what caused me to want to do this video. Now, unfortunately, with those differences, there are cases where there's infighting, and I did not realize that that was going on with a couple of MGTOW in mind. One of them was a very well-known and respected one, Hammerhand. And another one,
Hammerhand. I'm sure you guys have figured out I'm fucking with you. Right?
I've never really had an issue with him.
Our Lord and Savior, Hammerhand. Oh, me and Polska should get together and drink.
I want that to be the key aspect. Plus, I'm trying to get it out as quickly as possible. I don't want to waste the time throwing in 800 pictures because I think
I just don't want to waste the time to show Hammer. Oh, look at that beautiful face on that. Oh my God, it's Santa Hammer. He's here right now. Yeah, thank you.
Sorry. There we go. There's a little humor for you.
Good.
So before I get into the purpose of this video, I want to get into a particular understanding of a certain word, and that is philosophy. Philosophies, by nature, will grow over time as more and more people accept said philosophy. And with that happening, that means you're going to be having different opinions about certain aspects. Sometimes it's about the philosophy itself, and a lot of times it has nothing to do with said philosophy whatsoever. And MGTOW is no exception.
Right.
Case in point, I know for a fact that not all of us agree with the aspects of smoking weed or drinking alcohol or the small hats.
Well, speak for yourself, Mr. Big Stuff. I like smoking weed. Oh my God.
Or forms of entertainment.
Actually, I don't. But Mr. Hemi 4-Speed certainly does, and he's a quality gentleman right there.
And you know that's fine. As far as I'm concerned, we should be disagreeing on stuff, so long as we're civil and not trying to kill one another.
Undead Chronic likes the hooch as well. Just.
For this video, though, I wanted to focus on some MGTOW specific talking points, more so one in particular, because this one, as far as I can tell, is the primary motivation behind what caused me to want to do this video.
He's evil. He's evil. He's evil. Oh my God.
Now, unfortunately, with those differences, there are cases where there's infighting.
Yeah.
And I did not realize that that was going on with a couple of MGTOW in mind. One of them was a very well-known and respected one, Hammerhand, and another one who I've never really had an issue with him. I've never really seen an issue with him. Iridium Kush. And for those of you who know,
I don't have any issue with Kush. Just there was a pissing match there, and apparently I got in the middle of it. It's like I want nothing to do with it. I'm just not doing that.
More about the situation than I do. I'm sure you're probably screaming out at least one other name that's involved.
Cushy likes to smoke a little doobage. Good for him. Good for him. Good for him.
Don't worry about it. I'm going to get to some other names right now, actually.
Yeah. But you keep forgetting the hamster. Why can't I get one against me? Oh my God, it's terrible.
About a week ago from the time that I posted this video, from the time I'm making this recording, I'd say it was about 4, maybe 5 days prior.
Yeah.
Hammerhand had posted a video that was originally posted.
It's hammer time.
By another MGTOW by the name of Frost. He
Frosty.
posted
Hey, Frost.
To be nice, discussion.
Frost has entered the room from Hawaii.
That overall featured him, Hammerhand, Iridium Kush, and another guy who I have heard of this guy. Bullets for Teeth.
Bullets for Teeth.
I don't really know much about the guy.
Yeah.
I can't even remember the last time I've seen anything involving Bullets for Teeth.
He went against the hamster, so I don't know. I never did. I was always more than welcoming on the channel to Bullets, but I guess I'm an asshole. Yes, he's an asshole.
Hearing him or anything to that nature.
Sure.
But yeah, so the conversation mostly featured these four. And when I say conversation, I'm being very courteous and generous.
Yeah, listen to my response video, though, or Whiskey. You should do that. I thought it was pretty good. Go on.
So getting back on topic. The video that Hammer posted, which I'll provide a link in the description below in case you guys want to watch it, or if at the very least you want to see what title it was that Hammer came up with. It was worded in a way that made it sound as if though Hammer absolutely obliterated them. For those of you who know a common expression amongst Hammer.
I mean, I'm not throwing shade at Bullets. I have no beef with the guy, so I just don't know how I showed up in the MGTOW hater video. I have no idea, right? He was always on my channel. I think he was even on the stream a couple times. Kush was here all the time. Don't know what happened. I'm not sure I need to dig in too deep. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But Hammerhand videos are Hammerhand.
Don't hurt him, Hammer. Well, he made it sound like that he did in fact hurt them. And you know, for as much as I respect Hammer, I was
sure that wasn't my video. I think I put that in the title. Polska Bob, after a long week of work, it's time to have some mushroom pizza. Good to see you, man.
Kind of.
Oh, Happy New Year, everyone. Yeah, it's 2024. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Yay.
Hoping that was more of an egotistical interpretation than accurate. And Hammer, if by any chance you're watching this video, please don't take that any sort of negative way.
I should make a big Hammer clause because, you know, it would make sense.
I still have a lot of respect for you. But I was kind of hoping that Kush and Bullets would have done a better job.
Fish Got Dukes is here. Hello.
And I know a lot of that
Easter
is
Sunday
because,
is here. Hello.
You know, like I said earlier, I don't really have any problems with Iridium. But also, I just have this, I don't know, I guess you could say this opinion when it comes to discussions and especially debates, that if you're going to engage in something like that, you should probably be able to do a good job, or at least decent enough job, to convey your point and not sound like a complete dumbass. Which
I think actually in the video that I did and the one that was posted, I think Kush was the most reasonable, to be honest with you, in the discussion. But go on.
Unfortunately, doesn't happen a lot. And I was hoping this would have been an exception. Now, I will say that there were a couple of moments here and there where I kind of got the impression that they did a decent job with saying why they think what they do. And I think there was like 2 cases where I agreed with something that they said.
Okay.
But as far as like the overall talking points that were brought up, no, No.
I mean, are you going to play the video so you can respond to the video? Because that would be kind of what we would expect. Mr. Whiskey.
Hammer and Frost absolutely obliterated them. More so on Hammer. I mean, no offense to you, Frost, if you're going to watch this, but most of what you were doing was, well, at least a good chunk of it was making references to booty holes.
Oh my God, Schlitz Malt Liquor's here. Hello, Schlitz. Who else is here? Skeleton is here. I saw you on her. I saw you commenting on this video, so I commented on your comment. Oh my God, it's great.
Which, don't get me wrong, they were pretty funny most of the time, but right. They didn't really. It didn't really come off as being strong debate quality. But for when you did do that, you did a pretty damn good job.
Troglodytes.
But yeah, I mean, I was kind of hoping that there would have been a little bit more balance with the two sides sharing their disagreements and the causes for those.
Right.
Now, maybe it would have worked out better if it was just one of them going up against one person, you know, like Iridium versus Frost or something like that. Or,
yeah, I'm sure that's been, excuse me, Whiskey. I'm sure that's been done already. He's got to dig up the old Google. I'm sure it's there somewhere.
Something like that. But instead, we got 2-on-2. And at a certain point, we had Chaz come in.
Chaz,
I love you, buddy, but you really didn't.
Chaz and Arble? Was it Shars and Arble? Oh my God, you were there too?
Contribute that much to it. Or Chronic, which I will give Chronic props. He did a pretty damn good job for being kind of on the neutral side.
Yeah, that's his thing, though. Yeah.
Trying to help spur on certain talking points from those that were being challenged as a whole. But in all honesty, I think something like that would have been more productive if it was just one-on-one with a moderator from start to finish.
Couldn't you play the video? I mean, Jesus.
But yeah, I mean, for what we got, I understand why Kush was there. I understand why Bolts was there. Frost was hosting, so of course he was going to be there. And I could definitely understand why Hammer was there.
Hammer.
Especially since allegedly this conflict has been going on for what, a year, more than a year, or something like that.
I have no idea.
I
don't care.
Both sides have been trying to.
I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Make contact with each other, saying, "Hey, let's schedule a time to discuss this shit," but nothing ever panned out. Well,
are you ever going to get to the video?
I don't know how long it's been. It could have been 5 years for all I know, and I don't really care, to be entirely honest.
I would like a video,
mostly because we finally had that moment. No more excuses. It finally happened, and this is what we got. I mean, to be entirely honest, I think that things could have been handled differently, but we got. And you know, we still got some pretty good content. If for nothing else, that for those of us outside of the conversation, being able to discuss our personal opinions, such as this.
I mean, could you play the fucking video so we can hear your comments on the video? Because that'd be interesting. I'd like to hear your point of view on this. But is this 30 minutes of you not playing the video, Whiskey? Come on now.
And I will say that when all is said and done, I think Hammer and Frost are correct in terms of the overall picture.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to explain why that is. So as far as what the main point...
Exactly. Play the damn tape, man. Well, maybe Whiskey doesn't have the capability, so I guess we'll listen to him for a while.
The video was the main disagreement.
Got to get him fixed up with some StreamYard or something
between these MGTOW. You can basically sum it up as this: can the LGBTQ be MGTOW, specifically the T? As a whole, I would say no. For the same reason why I say that women cannot, because it's for men. So that disqualifies everybody who is a woman. So that's the L's.
So trannies going their own way. And that's interesting. I haven't thought about that. Okay. Yeah, sure.
And it's also for men who have the desire to be with women. So that disqualifies the G's. And not just to be with the women, but for marriage, for child creating.
Okay.
So it could maybe apply to some of the B's. It would have to be the B's who are men, are either in a relationship or considering a relationship with a woman that would involve the potentials for marriage and baby making.
Reaper, thanks for coming by.
Good
to see you.
I personally have always been under the impression that Q is kind of the overall umbrella term for all of these. But if that were the case,
is that hammer? He's a bearded OG at this point. God.
Case that everybody agreed with me, then all these extra letters, the A's, the I's, the pluses, the numbers, they wouldn't be necessary because the Q is supposed to be an umbrella. But since that's not the case, I guess I was wrong. So I'm not sure how to answer the Q. The T, however, when you're talking about men involved with that, be they men who start out off as women or...
Holy shit. Brandon Trueblood is here. The other Lord has arrived. He's a piggy. Oh my God. Yes.
For men who want to become women. In both situations, they are rejecting what is the entire concept of marriage between a man and a woman. Because they don't even know what the hell they are.
Sure.
I mean, I hate to make it sound like I'm bashing on them, but let's be real. The men are avoiding the label of being men altogether by transitioning to women. So clearly they can't be MGTOW. And the women who are looking to transfer into manhood, they're not men. They're never going to be men. And even if they somehow could, the closest that they could get, I really, 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 really doubt that any...
Moki Alex is here. Hello, Moki. Another saint is in the building. Oh my God. Also Seraphim.
Court in the United States is going to treat them exactly the same way that they would.
Wolfgang Sigma is here. Hello, Wolf. Happy New Year to everyone. It's coming up like tomorrow night's New Year's Eve. As if I give a shit. I don't.
Any one of us actual men. This is kind of more of a personal view on that. I just don't see it happening.
Chunky.
But there was a question, actually a couple that were brought up that I thought were interesting talking points. The first one was a question that was brought up, I think by Kush, to Hammer, which is, what if it's a guy who started the process to transition to a woman?
Couldn't you play the video? Couldn't you?
And then decided that they were wrong and wanted to transition back to men.
I mean, that's what I was hoping for.
And I think I would have to side with Hammer on this.
I wanted to see the video and then Whiskey can comment on the video. Okay. Well, we all have to start out some. Mr. Hemi 4-Speed is here. Hello. Happy New Year, you Canadian poutine lover.
Which is, I don't know. I would have to think about it. And I'll even add, it would also depend on how far.
Prairie Home Companion. Indeed. Yes.
They go, and what are they wanting to do from that point on? Because something that I've heard many times over is a lot of men who fall under the category of T somewhere, or at the very least thinking
what the fuck?
Like they were boys who thought maybe they should have been girls, kind of.
Give me something to look at.
A lot of them grow out of it and realize they're just gay.
Oh God.
So
all right,
I'm not sure.
Well, he's going to talk, so I'm going to go get some more beer.
They're probably more likely to be gay and be interested in men. It's just my understanding of it. Could it be possible? Yes. Is it likely? I don't think so. So I don't know. I think I would have to really think about that one. And I honestly, it might not be a bad idea for all of us to think about it. But the other point is, and this is one where I definitely agree with Team Bullets Kush, is I don't see anything wrong with us MGTOW content creators having LGBTQ guests on one of our streams every now and then. I see nothing wrong with guests. And it did kind of sound like that Hammer disagreed with that, or at least at one point did. And I'm going to have to say that I don't agree with that. I think Kush and Bullets were correct. I don't think there's anything wrong with us having conversations with these people, even if it's about MGTOW. I don't see anything wrong with that necessarily. And same thing with just normal women. I see nothing wrong with that. So I don't know. I guess that's my stance. On the overall topic, I side with Hammer and Frost. On a couple of points, I do think that Kush and Bullets had some validity in what they were saying. Not the best delivery, but all in all, they did have a couple of points, but they lost the overall argument with me. There were a few other talking points that were brought up, and I'm sure there are some that I didn't remember or didn't think were important enough to discuss for my video, but I do have a few, and I'm going to try to keep them to not be as long as the previous one. I mean, that one was like 5 minutes.
No videos involved yet.
Okay, good. 3-ish, give or take. So the next one is MGTOW political, and if so, is it right wing? This was brought on because Hammerhand was saying that certain things that Kush and Bullets were arguing were leftist talking points, and therefore were anti-MGTOW. Or, I'm sorry, not therefore anti-MGTOW.
Something of meat, some meat here.
And Bullets took it as therefore, meaning that he was saying that Hammer believes that MGTOW is right wing. And that's not what he was saying. And I agree with Hammer that it's apolitical. You can have, like, if I absolutely had to say,
I mean, it's becoming apolitical because it's affecting all men, regardless if you're Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Communist, Marxist, whatever the fuck you are, alien from Uranus. It's been affecting men for 50 plus years. So we're just now starting to realize this, Mr. Whiskey. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. It's your video.
If it's right or left, I would say right, simply because it is kind of, it's structured to be a form of anti-feminism, and feminism is of the left more so than the right.
Do you think?
So that's the main reason why I say that.
Do you think? God bless America. Jesus has arrived. Let's see. Feminism is more on the left than the right. Okay. Good. You're making progress, Mr. Whiskey. Good.
However, it should be noted on a few things. It's not the left wing and the right wing.
God, Riggs
even those
is
two things, it's not specifically a binary.
I'm farting in your general direction.
There's all sorts of different types of left. There's all sorts of different types of right. I know
a
lot of
Wrench
people
is here. SCE.
Spectrum,
Holy shit.
which I can kind of understand. I kind of agree with Turd Flinging Monkey that it's more like a triangle, but at the same time, triangles have specific points.
Yeah.
And
angles and
enough
shit.
leftist crap to make it to where I don't see that as necessarily being a point.
Right.
So I see it as being kind of more spherical. There's no points, and in fact, the closest thing to points that it might have would be an axis, which would mean a couple of poles. Like, take a look at the Earth. It has poles. Even those poles are not stationary. They move. Not a whole lot as far as a planet goes, but they do move in a fixated spot.
Yes.
And likewise, it's the same thing with politics.
And that's because the internal melting ions and shit in the electron core of the Sorry. God. Riggs, fart in my direction. Brandon wants to give him one right in the face. Do it.
As for MGTOW being apolitical, we don't always agree with the right, and sometimes the left has a few good points.
I mean, how could you be apolitical? We all know what's going on here, Mr. Whiskey. The left wants to destroy the country. The right, maybe there's some weirdos occasionally, but they want to conserve what's good. The lessons we've learned over thousands of years. Oh my God, it's the Bible. Oh my God. What do you think the Bible was, really? A history. This is what we've done, and this is what we learned over time. There's nothing wrong with learning from history. The people back 4,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago weren't fucking stupid. They were just like us without cell phones. You understand that? They were no smarter or dumber than we are. And they wrote this shit down, and they said, hey, let's invent a language so we can write this stuff down. So our our kids and our grandkids and this and future generations. This is what we've learned. So, but it's God. It's God. So throw it out of the building. Sorry. I was watching Sir Sick earlier, and
we don't agree on everything politically speaking either. Probably the best example of this would be abortion.
How can you not understand there's a political aspect to this whole thing? Mr. Whiskey, what are you saying? Do you know what you're saying? It's all fucking political. Why do you think the women are set against the men? Well, men are evil and all this shit, and we got to eliminate these men. Is that a right wing or a left wing Marxist thing? Just curious. I'm sorry. Let's go on with this lovely video with no video.
So I'm not going to go into that too much, but there you go. There's one talking point right there. That's
yeah, you're right, Angler. But the link is in the description if you want to listen to 30 minutes of something
political that
without video
does not agree on. At least I'm pretty sure of it. So, and plus, when you talk to people on the right who do know what MGTOW is, or they think they know what it is, they hate us. They don't like us. They see us as being exactly the same thing as feminism. It's feminism for men, or they're in league with feminism because they're anti-family, they're anti-child, kind of a thing. And
so what did feminism accomplish for women? Well, women got the right to vote. Yeah, well, okay. That was 102, 3 years ago. What since young, what is it, Padawan? What is it, young Luke Skywalker? That is trying to do today. Maybe we should talk about that. What is it they're trying to do? They're trying to destroy the country. Now, the feminists don't know that. They're just stupid. It's like, oh, I can go out and fuck every guy I want to get. Sure. Yay, you go, girl. Do you think the early progenitors of feminism didn't know the psychology of human beings? Did you think that? Edward Bernays and Sigmund Freud, all these people. Did you think they didn't understand how people worked? It's random. Is it? Is it random, Mr. Whiskey? All of this shit is pushed and promulgated by the fucking lefties. It always has been, and it always will be. It is a fucking political thing. Don't fool yourself, young man. It is the leftists, the Marxists, the communists. They want to separate you, me, men from women. Why? Now, I hate to use a cliche, but I'm going to say it. A house divided, you know what I'm saying, right? I think you do. Go on.
They see us as being of the left. So we don't, MGTOW as a whole is an apolitical philosophy.
Bullshit. Bullshit. It is not apolitical. That's where you're falling into some fucking crevice here, a crevasse that I can't understand. How can you not see this? Who pushed feminism? Who? You think it was the conservative grandpa father or grandfather farmer or whatever? No, it was the progressives. And who are the progressives identifying with today, Mr. Whiskey? Don't give me this, it's apolitical bullshit. Now, maybe what you mean is that there are left guys, right guys, or white guys, black guys, brown guys are saying, wait a minute, this is bullshit, something wrong. Whoa, what's going on here? But you goddamn well know all of this shit is being pushed by the lefties. Don't sit there and fucking piss down my leg and tell me it's raining goddamn it whiskey. I know you for years. Don't bullshit me. It is the left that is pushing this nonsense. You know that. Stop it.
And I don't think either Bullets didn't understand that, or he didn't understand where Hammer was coming from, or which this could very well be the case. I think he was trying to do a gotcha. So going back to something that I just mentioned, not liking us, that some people would probably think should. Let's go over MRAs. That was brought up a little bit.
Let's do that.
What is the relationship between MGTOW and MRA? Now,
what is that? Are you going to explain it? Okay, I have to read the chat. Wolf King Sigma. All right. Feral Ravage. Everybody's here. All the cool people are here. So you're getting big exposure. So give us your theorem, Mr. Whiskey.
I have said in the past before that I think it is possible for a MGTOW to be an MRA. After all, we are men. We have chosen to be MGTOW because we don't like the state of family courts, marriage, divorce, stuff. And that's some of the stuff that MRAs fought against. They wanted to change things.
Some of the stuff. Okay. Just some of it. Now the rest of it is, well, we hate women. Oh my God. Sorry.
But the thing with that is, and this was something that was brought up by Kush, I believe, which is that a lot of MRAs, like the actual active MRAs, they didn't like MGTOW. They saw us as being cowards. And not on the same page, not willing to get our hands dirty, having different agendas, that kind of stuff.
All right.
Which they're not entirely wrong about the agenda aspect, but it's not that we're afraid to get our hands dirty, it's that we don't see a point to it.
Well,
and we're just content with just being left alone. That's kind of the MGTOW aspect of it. But what I find to be funny about that is MRAs are, at least these ones that Kush brought up, which I know was a good chunk of the MRAs.
Okay.
They didn't like the idea of MGTOW being associated with them, but they were fine with women. And it seemed like everybody on that panel agreed that that was part of the downfall of the MRA movement, was letting women not only in, but taking over. Okay, so the next one is going to be kind of long.
Okay.
And that's mainly because I'm going to combine a couple of bullet points that I had originally and put it into
the whole thing has been
which
long.
is, what is MGTOW? What do MGTOW do?
Okay.
Do I have to care about other men? Is the MGTOW manifesto valid? I've already tapped into what I think MGTOW is. It's basic, simple points. So how that impacts what we do, I would say so long as it doesn't conflict with it, whatever.
Spock Talk is here. Hello, Spock. Happy New Year. Good to see you.
We don't have to.
Also, Troglodyte is here. Oh my God.
Be online. We don't have to have each other's backs in the sense of, I'll be there for you, just give me a call. I don't think we necessarily have to do that. But for those of us who do, we do it because we care.
Right.
Part of it is because we can sympathize, we can empathize, we can relate.
So, Mr. Whiskey, could you point out the differences between a men's rights advocate or activist and MGTOW? Do they have similar ideas? Do they look for the same things? Marriage reform, da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. Is there anything in common between those two things? These two movements or people who are like, I'm fed up with this bullshit. Anything? Anything we can think of that might be in common? No? Because it's oh my God, they're evil. Oh my God, the MGTOWs, men going their own way. Now, let's also consider, say, a man going his own way. For example, some dude, call him Hammer Claws, going his own way. What is he hurting? If he decides he doesn't want to deal with women or any of this bullshit, he wants to be on his own, he wants to do his thing. What's wrong with that? MRAs say these are certain things, Paul Elam and all these guys. These are things that we need to fix, but they're still kind of in the mainstream. Is there any common Venn diagram we can come up with? No? MGTOW guys are weird and creepy. Is that right? And the MRA guys are somehow what? They're strong. Nothing in common between the two at all. Okay. All right.
But that's not always the case. In my particular situation, I have custody of my son. I'm trying to do the best that I can to raise him to be a man. And actually,
can you spell anecdote, Mr. Whiskey? Give it a shot. Anecdote. Spelled like it sounds. Mm-hmm. Go on.
Actual man. And also, I'm hoping that he understands why it is that I never married his mom, which, I mean, to be entirely honest, that was her call, not mine.
I mean, that was a good thing. So maybe you do understand more than I thought you did. Go on. Help us.
But I'm glad she made that call. But also why it is that I've never gotten married since. Why I've never even tried to get married since.
Could it be because you know what the fucking bullshit is? Why there's a lot of men in the so-called MGTOW or even MRA that's like, this is kind of bullshit. I don't know, I'm going to do that. But MRAs and MGTOWs are different because reasons. Go on.
And why I've also never tried to make a child with anyone, including with his own mother, even though at one point she did say that she wanted to have another kid and she wanted it to be with me for his sake. Which I'm not going to argue that I can see the logic of that, just not enough where I would say,
okay,
no.
But, oh my God.
I think we are, especially those of us who are social and communicating with one another. I do think that we should be there for each other on some sort of level.
Really? Excuse me.
Which, Hammerhand.
Why? Why should we be there for anyone else? Why is it such a bad thing? Men come together and we talk about stuff. See, the fembots really hate that. Now, think about it, Whiskey. Why do the feminists hate it when men come together and talk about stuff? Wonder why that would be. Can't think of a thing. It's just, men are evil. Why do they not want us to talk to each other? Anyone?
Brought this part up, which is that we've raised funds to help men out who are in trouble, with stuff like moving and fixing certain things in the house or making payments or something to that effect. I mean, when we can, we help out, and oftentimes when we do, we help out and then some. I can kind of understand
you drinking again tonight.
That the others were making about going through a fundraiser, but I think Hammer was correct in pointing out that fundraisers are shit. They keep a good chunk of the profits raised, and I'm going to add something, which is they're not always quick with handing out the donation. Sometimes it takes forever. Whereas if we just gave the money to Hammer, he can give the money to whoever it is.
Hopefully me.
Immediately. Like in the case of Sonic Viper. As soon as money came in, boom, it went to Sonic. He did not have to wait for months for some organization to send it off to him. So I definitely disagree with Bullets and Kush on that point for that reason.
And let's bring up Rusty Rivers, by the way, who has done more for men. He's got houses. He's bringing men in, and he's saying, I'm going to help these guys. That's pretty fucking awesome, isn't it? And Hammerhand does the same thing. Gone with John does the same thing. Brandon Trueblood does the same thing. We want to help men. So I don't see a problem with that. Oh, but it's run through PayPal. Okay, sure, whatever. Yeah.
And, plus, in the case of Hammerhand, I know this is the case. He has talked to men who felt like Minecrafting themselves.
Hammerhand.
Terrence Popp is a great example of this.
Yeah.
He has that counterboard, which is something that Bullets had brought up that honestly pissed me off, which is he said, oh, those are rookie numbers. First of all, the fact that there even is a number should be something worth talking about. Somebody was in need of help. Terrence Popp helped him. That should not be ridiculed. But 500 plus, not only should that not be ridiculed, but he should be thanked. And I think for all of us who do go onto his channel, I mean, I haven't gone to a Terrence Popp video in quite some time, but I think that we should show our gratitude to him for having our back as much as he has. Backs as much as he has. Sorry. There's more than one of us, so it's more than one back.
Yeah.
And
Terrence Popp is the GOAT. I mean, he's got a charity. He's helping men, especially men. But I'm sure he would help women too. They want to delete themselves. He's helping them. Veterans, he's been there. He was in the shit. Camel spiders, all that crap. So he understands a little bit better than most of us, right? What kind of shit these men and occasionally women go through. Terrence Popp is the fucking GOAT. Go to his channel. You want to donate some money? I've done that. Throw a few bucks. Maybe his charity's going to do some good. God, I hope so. To help people. I like that idea. I do.
Also, if you're going to say that those are rookie numbers compared to what you have done, like Bullets was doing,
right?
What have you done? Explain what you have done. I can understand all like showing right then and there because of, this was done on StreamYard and you weren't even the host, so how could you show something? But you could at least talk about it, and he did it. He didn't say diddly squat about what he did, and to me, that was just fucking insulting. Screw you, Bullets. For that one aspect, screw you. Oh,
yeah. There's a lot of men out here that are doing things, Mr. Whiskey. We don't want to brag about it. We just want to help people. Someone who's in need, we help. We don't need fucking applause, all this other shit. So maybe you're not hearing about some of the other guys because we don't want to brag about it. You know what I mean? Might be a thing. Maybe.
I almost forgot about this part. The manifesto. So the manifesto was brought up. Hammer was almost making it sound like that was almost like it was a religious requirement. I mean, he wasn't directly saying that. That was kind of the impression that I was getting. And I think Bullets and Kush were as well.
That's pretty good.
I don't know. I've never actually read the manifesto.
Okay.
I've seen it. I know it exists.
Okay.
In fact, I think it was because of Hammer that I've seen that it exists. I haven't actually read it, though, so I don't know how I feel about the manifesto, to be entirely honest. I will say, though, that because I do have this opinion that we can disagree on things and our way...
Not disagreeing with you there.
Aspects, depending on what we're talking about.
Right.
I don't know if I would agree with the manifesto aspect.
Okay.
But I will give Hammer this much credit. I do believe that there are certain key elements to being a MGTOW. And if you can't follow those, then I think that disqualifies you from being a MGTOW, which brings me up to the last point is...
Oh, we're finally here. Yes. Whiskey, go. Go ahead.
What disqualifies a self-professed MGTOW from being a MGTOW? And the obvious one is if you decide to get married. But
I'm men going their own way if they want to. Now, some MGTOW, like Brandon, no marriage, no women, no kids. Okay. What's wrong with that? That's good. That's his opinion. Great. If you want to go into the marriage and divorce, industrial complex, go ahead. But you need to be informed. You need to know what potentially could happen. Not saying it'll happen. Oh my God, I got the Jennifer. She's like she cooks me dinner and great. But there's a solid percentage of shit that isn't going to work out. Okay, 30, 40%. Pick your percentage. I've heard, oh my God, it's not 50%. It's like, it's only 34%. Only 34%. 1 out of 3 people who get married will get divorced. Oh, well, that's fucking better. Oh my God, let me jump into that bullshit. Is that better? Oh, it could have been 1 and 2, but it's 1 and 3. So I feel better now. Oh my God. Just think carefully about it. Whiskey. We're not sitting here spewing bullshit. Oh, you hate women. You hate the girls. Oh my God. The girls are. No. I think a lot of MGTOW MRA types would say we hate the system. The system is fucked up. The system isn't fair for men. Oh, what do you mean? I mean, women they're oppressed. No, they're not. They're not oppressed. So you might hear a couple people say, well, that's bullshit. Women have advantages that men don't. And yet here comes the fucking tsunami of feminism telling young women especially, oh my God, you're oppressed. It's bullshit. Anyway, I'm probably off topic there. Sorry, Whiskey. Go ahead.
We're not really going to go into that because it's not really exactly relevant to the video that I'm commenting on.
Excuse me, Amster. How is it that the oppressed women are actually not oppressed and men are just, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm just so confused. Now, if you're trying to get laid, you might say stupid shit like that. Oh, no, I'm wrong. Oh, my God, you're the best. Women are, oh, my God, you're oppressed. I just want to get into your vagina. Those are called pussy worshipers and fucking simps. We're not that. None of us here are that. Although we like a little bit of, oh, she have big tits. The point is simple. Women are not oppressed in the West, United States, United Kingdom, Scotland, Ireland, Australia, other places. It's bullshit. It is not true empirically. This can be proven to be not true. And yet, they still hold on to that. Oh my God. 100 years ago, women were... We don't live 100 years ago, do we? We live in 2023, almost 2024. And you're telling me women are oppressed. Can you explain how you're oppressed? Anyone? Bueller? Yeah. No. Because they're not. They're advantaged at every fucking opportunity by the government, by the media, by academia, and we're just supposed to sit here and take it. Oh my God, these women, 17,000 years ago, women didn't. Fuck that. No, we're here. We're now. I have no advantage over any female who wants to take a STEM field. For example, wants to be an electrical engineer like me. There's nothing in her way. As a matter of fact, she's boosted up. Explain this to me. How am I oppressing her when she's got all the gibs over there? All these things she gets for nothing except for being a woman. How? Just curious. I'm sorry. Again, off track, but people in my chat like my talks.
I believe this again goes to Bullets, and I could be wrong on this, but I think it was Bullets who did this.
Oh, maybe.
He used the term "migtard," and I don't know if he was trying to be funny because Chaz was on, but I did not take it as a joke personally.
Good.
If I'm wrong, I will have no shame in admitting that I'm wrong. But for the sake of argument, let's say that I am 100% correct, and he did in fact mean it as an insult. That to me says you are not a MGTOW. You do not respect MGTOW as a label. You do not respect men who are MGTOW. You do not respect what it means to be a MGTOW. Therefore,
really? What does that mean, Mr. Whiskey? We can have that discussion. Maybe we should do a live stream. What does it mean? Just curious.
You are not a MGTOW. But like I said, I could be wrong on Bullets doing that. He could have been trying to be funny.
Well, he's not very funny. Whoa, what did you say? Nothing. I didn't say a thing.
But I did not take it as such. I didn't. I took it as he was actually being an asshole because he knew that he was in the wrong. He was kind of being an asshole. And I don't think he likes Chaz, which, I mean, I'm not going to deny this. I can understand why someone would not like Chaz. I like Chaz. I think he's fun.
Does he have Riz? Just saying, the kids are talking about Riz these days.
And he's not an idiot either. So I do respect Chaz. I really do. I totally support him being a member of the war band. And in a strange sort of way, I kind of look up to Chaz in an aspect. But don't tell him that. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead and tell him. I don't care.
Okay, I don't think he says much. We are being told, men, MGTOW, MRA, just men, general men, that women are oppressed. And it's because of evil men. When we can look and see, oh my God, it's anecdotal evidence. Excuse me, for 1 second, you are telling me that your lived experience is the shit. Isn't that an anecdote? Oh, I went to the store once and this guy looked at me and he thought I was stealing shit. That's called an anecdote. Do you remember that from your college days? Did you pay attention? Anecdotal experience is not applicable when you're having a discussion. Give me the statistics, give me the thing. Well, on average, men prefer women who are like 23 to 22 or whatever. Oh my God, no. Whatever the case may be, it doesn't fucking matter. What matters is they're right, you're wrong, you evil MRA, MGTOW, fucking going your own way, bachelor type shit. You need to worship the pussy. You need to spend money on the poon. Because reasons. Because why? Why would that be? But historically, women weren't fucking sluts. Are you going to fix that? You're going to not be a slut? Well, it's my right. Why are you oppressing me? Do you see the fucking problem? Everything good with this freedom for women is good. Everything with the freedom for men is bad. So MGTOW is, oh my God, absolute bullshit. But what do I know? Just a guy drinking Guinness. All right. The link is in the description. You guys have a good night. Happy New Year if I don't talk to you before then. All right. We'll see you. Bye-bye.